have a nice day.
Thank you. You do the
Stay
same
blessed.
too. We're gonna keep it going with Dante Scott. You there, Dante?
Deonte.
Deonte. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, I'm
Deonte.
I'm here. How you doing, Queen
I'm
Silvy? What's
doing.
up,
I'm
Tim? How
doing
y'all doing?
fine.
Hey, how
I'm
are you?
doing fine. Appreciate you being on the show today.
No problem. Thank you.
Hey, you were born and raised in the Windy City. Speaking of Windy City, but now you are down here in Texas too. You're a spoken word artist and a poet. Tell me, when did you realize you had a way with words and that this is what you were going to do?
Man, I want to say I've been writing for about 18 years. So since like my freshman year of college, so that's like I don't want to tell my age, but that's like '97.
Oh my
That's when
gosh,
I
he's
started
still a
kind of
baby. You
messing
hear that?
around.
He is.
That's when I started, messing around with the pad and the pen, and realized that this was something that I could do. So.
Well, thanks for making me ancient. He's like, way back in 1992. I'm like, son.
Hey,
When I was in diapers a long time ago.
yeah.
For those unaware, explain the purpose of a spoken word artist, and what do you think it takes to be a good poet?
Well, the purpose, it depends on who the spoken word artist is. Every artist has their own particular purpose for why they do it. For me, in particular, it's to deliver a message. It's to deliver a message and to inspire those who may be dealing with a difficult situation or may not have that confidence to get out there and do something that they didn't know they may have, because fear is like the biggest demon that halts people from being successful. So for me, it's to deliver a message and to inspire others. And I think what it takes to be a good spoken word artist or a poet is, you have to have a way with words. You don't have to sound like the next person, but you have to be able to put something together that someone can actually follow and understand. And at the end, they feel that you've given them something that they couldn't give to themselves. So, you got to have confidence, and you got to have some sort of talent as well.
And that desire, because it's not going to be easy, just like anything else. So, hey, that's good advice. Yeah. Spoken word provides a strong connection between the audience and the performer. And, Houston is a hot spot for skilled poets. Where do you see spoken word and poetry evolving to?
I see it evolve. It's becoming more mainstream. Because in prior years, poetry was it's more of an underground thing where you had to be kind of part of a secret society to know the spots where poetry is taking off. Where it's at a coffee shop, or if it's at someone's basement, or a cafe somewhere. So now I kind of see it's growing tremendously over the last 5 to 7 years with shows like. Recently Verses and Flow, and even longer, like I want to say maybe 10, 15 years, with HBO, Deaf Poetry. So it's becoming more mainstream. More events you see for, R&B artists, it may have a nationally known spoken word artist tag to it as an opener. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And that's great.
I see it becoming more mainstream, especially within the next 5 years.
And that's great, too. I love spoken word and poetry, and I think you're going to turn on the TV and see more spoken word poetry type shows and competitions is what I think. But in preparation, focus, and memory, as well as captivating the audience attentions, what's your method to the madness?
I would say, I write every day. You have to write every day. Everything that you write, it won't be great, but you have to write those mediocre pieces to get to that great piece. So for me, I write every day. I don't set aside, I'm gonna take 3 hours and write, because when I do that, I just wasted 3 hours, because I don't write the whole time. I'm kind of brain locked. So, for me, I write every day when I'm driving. When I'm driving alone, that's when I do the most writing. God gives me these visions and these lines, and I jot them down in my phone. And I look up at the end of the week, and I have 40 lines of just randomness that in tune. When I actually sit down and look at those lines, then it becomes the vision becomes clear and it becomes a message, and I just take it and run with it.
I do the same thing that way. I formulate. I use that word formulate, and that just gets my hand going. But yeah, I jot down notes and then go back to it. Sometimes I just write a little bit and go back to it until it's actually complete. But now, Raw Artist is the largest independent artist showcase in Houston, and in 2014, you was awarded Host of the Year. Congrats on you on that. I mean, you've soared even since then. That's probably like, oh, girl, that ain't nothing. I done the other things, but tell me how that felt to have that achievement.
Well, no, yeah, that was a big deal. I was a part of the Raw Artist community for about, I want to say, 3 years. I started there as an artist, in 2012, and in 2012 I won Performing Artist of the Year, and I just fell in love with the community, and the following year I became the host. And after putting in those long nights, every month for those showcases, it gave me a lot of confidence. I learned a lot of, I gained a lot of experience as well to, just with stage presence and handling certain situations, whether it's a noisy crowd or, you just never know what's going to happen when it's a live show. But for me, it was a great honor because I was up against, over 60 people across the country.
Wow.
Because Raw exists in over 65 cities in the United States. So, I was up against every city that has a Raw Artist host, and I won. So it was a huge accomplishment for me.
I bet. A great stepping stone towards in the right direction because you haven't turned back. I mean, tell me about your poetry album entitled The Struggle and how you came up with that title.
Well, The Struggle it's kind of like a bundled testimony, for me, because it was written during a time in my life where, things weren't as great. I was lost my job. I was, unemployed. I was dealing with, heartbreak, and, I was just financial situations, not knowing, where my next dollar would come from. And, it birthed some of my best work. And I just felt like the title, The Struggle, was befitting. And it was received really well.
Well, can others obtain it? Is it still out there?
Yeah, it's available anywhere you can download music: iTunes, Amazon, CD Baby, Spotify, Google Play. Anywhere you can download music, you can get it. If you want a hard copy, you can reach me on my website, which is Deonte Scott, Deonte Scott, SCOTT.com. Just reach out to me, and I can get a hard copy to you as well.
Hey, that's what's up. You're at the top of my list. I'm going to tell you that personally because it is awesome what you do. I mean, you don't stop there. You take time to perform for the kids, the elementary kids, and then you do a question answer session for the kids as well as mentoring to young youth. Tell me how all that came to be.
Just divine connections, man. Like, I feel like with spoken word, I'm walking within my purpose, right? So, and I feel like along that journey, God will place certain people in your path that'll help you, fulfill that purpose. So in the midst of me creating The Struggle and performing for free at all of these different venues, at churches, anywhere I could get on the stage, I was there. You meet people, you network. And from networking, I have friends who are elementary school teachers. They have career days. They have, just different. I went to a school where it was just all boys, and I performed for them right in their classroom for 20 minutes, and I just let them ask me as many questions as they wanted to at the end of that, just to see the fulfillment on their face, to know that I wasn't like a Lil Wayne or, what I'm saying, this superstar artist that they see on TV. They looked at me like that in that moment. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So,
that's all right.
That was part of it.
Well, you spoke of music, so let me ask you: do you consider rap and hip hop poetry?
Yeah, I feel that poetry and spoken word, it's an element of hip hop. When you really get to the true essence of hip hop, you have the visual, you have the graffiti, and then you have the hip hop dance, and you have DJing, and of course you have the rapping, the words. So if you really take one of my poems that I've recorded, you can speed it up and throw a hip hop beat behind it, and you have rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely an extended element of hip hop.
Yes, it is. And let me just say that to everyone, this is a strong, determined young man here who has 3 times tried to get onto the Lexus Versus show, and I know for a fact that you came up with your piece, sent it in, and then you got in on the 4th show, and you did a magnificent piece entitled "Run." In fact, I have it here, and we're all going to sit back and enjoy as I introduce to you the spoken word artist Deonte Scott.
Our final poet hails from Chicago. He started writing poetry about a girl he had a crush on while he was in college. Now, she must have been something else, right? Yeah. Saying, had a brother writing poems. Today, he has a poetry album called The Struggle, and he's the current host for Raw Artists Houston, an independent arts organization. Please give it up for Deonte Scott.
So I've heard honesty's the best policy, but somehow it isn't acknowledging me because honestly, my honesty has brought something far beyond close to me. And that is, I realized why I was put on this earth, at this moment, at this time, in this place. I was put here to inspire those who've allowed their dreams to forsake. I was put here to help the kid who's repeatedly being abused by his mother. I was put here to show him that everything isn't about black and white, but he too can dream and live in color. I was put here to tell him to run. Run, son. Run to the moment where you touched your dream with the palm of your hand. Then I tell him to run back just to do it all over again. Run from the hands that try to abuse you. Run from the words and the people that try to misuse you. Run until the soles of your feet are covered in blood. The blood starts to bubble. The bubble turns to pain. That pain turns to struggle. And from that struggle births your purpose. Your purpose will provide a gift in you that will not allow you to get tired. You too will realize why you were created and remember why you are inspired. Now you take that and you run with it. Run like you see your future self ahead of you and he's waiting for you to come get it. Just to tell you to run away from those who've hated, but stay close enough to be motivated, because what's a job well done without one person being jealous that you made it? Run. Run away from fantasy to keep you from following your dreams. Then run back to reality when you realize fantasy ain't all of what it seems. Because what matters are the things that can ultimately shape your life. So run to those moments when it's 3 a.m. and you just can't sleep at night. Because it's in those moments that greatness is born, and the price you pay, it ain't cheap. Because you up working, getting better while the lazy folk at home in bed sleep. So run. Run until you've met the right one. Make sure she loves you for more than just the great things you've done. Because to a woman, greatness smells pretty good on a man. So you run, son. You run away from them phonies as fast as you can, because they will intrude your life and corrupt your flow. And the minute hard times arise, they don't stand in a battle. The first thing they do is go. So run, because your destination will never just be one place you're looking to go. Your journey is a constant path if you continuing to grow. So remember not to walk, because I'm telling you to run, so that you can learn from my life and forego the mistakes that I've done. If only my life mirrored yours, you could see the pain that I've endured and hopefully learn something. But in all things, if you take nothing from me, I pray that you never stop running.
Thank you. Join the conversation on Twitter and tell us how you're hashtag running, hashtag winning, and make sure you hashtag Versus and Flow. Stay tuned. Versus and Flow will be right back with an exciting performance by Leela James and Anthony Hamilton. You will not want to miss this.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook and tweet us at Versus and Flow.
And we are back. Hey, that is what's up right there. Listen, Deonte, why don't you tell everybody how they can follow you on social media and for booking?
Okay, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, almost all social media outlets, just under my name, Deonte Scott, Deonte, last name Scott, Scott. You can also visit my website, DeonteScott.com. And I have a few things coming up. Can I tell you about the?
Yes, I was going to ask you, have anything coming up? And yeah. Go for it.
Yeah, so I got a few things coming up. I got something coming up December 13th with the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta. I'm waiting on the flyer. That'll be posted to my social media. I have another event coming up December 19th. It's titled Visually Speaking, and it's going to be at the Midtown Art Center. It's a fundraiser for the homeless. They're taking donations for clothes, blankets, toiletries. So, that information is on my social media. And I have my baby. I'm releasing my second spoken word EP titled Damage Control. It's going to be released February 16th. And then I have a one-man show on February 20th here in Houston at the Frenetic Theater. That's 5102 Navigation Boulevard. Doors open at 7. Show starts at 8. Tickets available at my website, DeonteScott.com. And, it's a portion, 25% of all proceeds from that show will be donated to the Ronald McDonald House of Houston here on Holcomb next to the Children's Hospital. So make sure you support. Even if you can't make the show,